RJ's Fro, Avenging Jack Murphy, Bring Back the Brown present the In-N-Out Challenge.
Well, we've got a lot of In-N-Out burgers there. Those are all double-doubles. Those are all double-doubles, and we thought it'd be a perfect opportunity for us to engage in a little RJ's Fro challenge of In-N-Out burgers based on the series that's coming up here with the Giants. There was news that was not newsworthy at all. When was it? Spring training? On Tim Lincecum's regimen for gaining weight, he would eat 3 double-doubles, a strawberry
ketchup only,
strawberry chocolate shake, and fries. So what we figured was we could outdo him. Maybe it might change our luck a little bit.
Yeah.
But at the very minimum, curse the Giants.
Curse the Giants?
Or not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just curse them.
So throughout the course of our little video presentation here, the goal will be to outdo Lincecum.
No, Latos, I hate San Francisco. Started a trend, started the balls trend. So, had a friendly little wager with Splashing Pumpkins baseball blog, San Francisco Giants.
Sounds about right.
Okay. And whoever wins the series between the Padres and the Giants, the season series, gets to write whatever they want on the other person's blog. I think he had some rules, 500 words max, no profanity, and yeah, that's it.
Now the question is, balls. It seems like ancient history since we last saw this hashtag on Twitter going over and over, and people really being fired up before the season because there was lots of hope in San Diego. And then with the hashtag balls, we saw lots of hatred coming from San Francisco, hatred of Matt Latos, hatred of Padre fans. It was great. And now here we are, eating a lot of hamburgers months later. What was this all about? How did this get going here?
It all started when our fine, youthful, young starting pitcher, Matt Latos, signed not 1, not 2, but 3 balls. I hate San Francisco. It was done all in fun. All the proceeds, or most of the proceeds, went to charity, the Players Association. And
where'd the proceeds of selling these shirts go to?
They went to this challenge right here.
It was a pricey challenge.
It was a very pricey challenge. So, yeah. Did I explain it, or I don't even... Did I finish explaining it?
Did you mention how Giant fans cried a lot?
They cried a lot. They'll probably cry over this, too. They're very sensitive.
They're very sensitive. Must be the weather.
Yeah.
So as of now, series tied 3-3, and we got the series coming up, starting tomorrow for the second half. Yeah.
4 games?
4 games.
4 games this weekend. Bo, thoughts?
Sunday, Latos gets the pitch.
Yeah, finally. Let's see if he can put up or shut up.
I suppose that's the important thing to mention. With all the balls talk and the hatred of San Francisco from Latos, he hasn't pitched yet. He hasn't pitched yet against the Giants.
He's been lucky. But we'll see that this weekend.
Right.
Tomorrow is the first day of the second half of the season, playing the Giants. And it's also a big day because we are going to be tributing the late Dick Williams.
Isn't it supposed to be late great? Not the great late?
The late, great Dick Williams. Hall of Fame Dick Williams. And we will be wearing the 1983 uniforms. Hold on. Right? 1983 uniforms. What?
The Brown.
The Browns,
The
right?
Brown.
We're also going to be putting up a flag, I think, out in the outfield.
Yeah.
For to commemorate him.
They're going to wear a patch.
At least they're not going to retire his number, like Garvey. Jeez.
That's a whole other. That's a whole other talk.
Yeah.
That's segment 2, right?
Yeah. So what's Garfinkel and Morad's #1 reason why we don't go back to brown?
They like red, white, and blue.
Red, white, and blue.
That's what they like, which is a kind of weak excuse.
Very patriotic, military town. It does. There's There's some.
True. Some
Well-
some argue that the blue is a return to our roots,
Mm-hmm.
but I would argue, ask anybody to name 2 people on a PCL.
There are
Bobby
exceptions to the rule because we've done a series-long
Mm-hmm.
post on the PCL,
Right.
which
By
ended
series-
after the second week of the season. But we're a little bit more schooled in the
I mean-
PCL lore.
You ask most people, most San Diegans, to name anybody but Ted Williams on a PCL team, and I'm pretty sure most people cannot.
Very true.
So I
So
kind of
that's not legitimate
I
reason why.
find it odd to pay tribute and homage to roots that no one know or really care about.
Okay. So then, what are the reasons why we would go back to the brown?
The list, our lists are long.
Besides that, they look snazzy. I mean, that's
I
a
mean,
good looking
we-
jersey right
A
there.
lot of people think it is a
Mhm.
good looking jersey. Jay-Z thinks it's a good looking jersey. It's
He
pretty,
does.
pretty sharp.
It's true.
I saw Tim Howard, U.S. goalkeeper, rocking a brown retro track jacket years ago.
Yeah,
So
that's
you know,
okay. Yeah.
it's not just Jay-Z. It's Tim
So
Howard.
would it be your wish that we would go to the uniforms that they're going to don tomorrow in honor of Dick Williams full time?
No, that's not really what we're saying people should do.
Okay.
Nick Canepa misrepresented our campaign in the Union Tribune by saying that we wanted to return to the brown and mustard, and conveniently they put the probably ugliest uniforms out of their 20 years of wearing brown,
Yeah.
which were the all yellow ones,
Yeah.
which is a huge misrepresentation of what what we believe in.
And Nick's never known to misrepresent anything,
Oh,
right?
he's pretty
Yeah,
sharp,
that's,
right?
that's one that doesn't happen at all.
Never, says me.
Yeah.
Says me. You know, Nick Canepa, he totally misrepresented it because he, like you said, he said it was brown and mustard. And where are his research skills? If you see the Bring Back the Brown
Right.
poster, it's anything but brown and mustard. It's
It's-
brown and orange.
It's brown and orange, actually. Yeah.
Nick,
The website's
you
brown and
blew
orange.
it.
The
Says
posters are brown and orange.
So you want to go back to the late 1980 brown and orange
Nope.
color scheme?
That's not what we're saying either.
Okay.
That's actually not what we're saying. We're actually we're pro brown, and we're nonpartisan to mustard, yellow, gold, orange. We're designers, actually, like the people who started the campaign, graphic designers, and we think. I mean, looking at uniforms of not even associated with sports necessarily, but you know, you look at like World War II bomber uniforms, and they're brown, and they look great. They look classy, and so we think that there's ways to implement brown that look good, and we think aside from you know brown being where we started. And Nick argues that the Padres started in brown because that was the owner's favorite color, but we don't really care because it makes sense. Aside from our history as you know, the first Spanish settlement in California started by friars who wore brown.
their robes are blue, aren't they?
Now their robes are blue. Yesterday, actually, we were talking about how the Padres, which the name pays tribute to our history as, a mission settlement, California history, San Diego history. Now they wear blue, which is supposed to represent the coast, the ocean, maybe.
I know that that was the main goal behind the new color scheme going into Petco Park was capture the being close to the ocean.
Right.
Hence the wave in the logo.
Right there on your logo,
The
right there.
wave, right here.
Which they seem to dislike quite a bit.
Actually,
Despite being blue lovers, let me fix my face.
Most people dislike the wave logo
Yeah.
across the board.
Oh.
It's pretty stereotypical of what outsiders stereotype San Diego as. That
Very touristy.
you guys surf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you?
No, I don't.
Attempt to surf.
I thought you were saying that's what people say.
Yeah, no, but that's what people
Yeah.
ask. Do you surf? You know, you go to New York and you say, well, they say, where are you from? And you go, oh, so you guys surf all the time?
And you say, nay, I blog and eat in and out. That's what we do.
That's what we do here. So we're paying tribute to Ocean, the ocean, which we kind of say is SeaWorld colors.
Mhm.
Look like we play for SeaWorld.
Right.
But we were talking yesterday about, let's take Boston, and kind of the world sees maybe the Yankees and the Red Sox as kind of like the baseball teams of the main baseball teams. Would you guys agree?
Yes.
Of the MLB.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Them and the Cubs, though.
maybe,
Cubs are close. Third.
maybe the Cubs.
Yeah, the Cubs are probably part of that.
Yeah.
The Cubs really suck though, so
Yeah. So you know,
still get that in.
the Red Sox have now ties to Liverpool with the New England. Was it New England Ventures who purchased Liverpool, and they also own the Red Sox.
Mhm.
So that's like a nice new kind of like branch out for the Red Sox. But when you think about the Padres, the name the Padres and our history, you know, half the world speaks Spanish, and we're not, by going with this kind of beach, oceany identity, we could be kind of like, you know, marketing to not only San Diegans, San Diego history, but half the world. By, you know, there's a lot of Latin American countries that play baseball, and
That there is.
we could be, you know, we could be a team that reaches that market. You know, look at the who are the finalists in the home run derby. They're all, you know, Dominican, Mexican. It's a huge sport in Latin American countries, in some Latin American countries. So we think that, you know, maybe brown isn't necessarily the archetype of that identity, but you know, grasping more to the mission concept and the friar concept, and kind of, you know, our ties with Spain, and that's the ties of South America, Mexico, Central America, the Caribbean. So, I mean, we could go on and on about like the brown.
I was really hoping that when they did the naming rights, that Mission tortilla chips would have bought them and then called it the Mission.
And we've
That
been
would've
going
been-
the mission.
That would have been perfect.
Yeah.
Then too perfect.
Too perfect.
Too perfect.
I mean, look at the stadium. There's very few things that kind of tie to that history. Like
Mhm.
they have a mission, they have a bell, but it's like this big, right?
Yeah.
That bell. You know, I don't know. We think that could be the identity isn't strong. It's not a strong identity. It's kind of really scattered. You know, you have the Padres, the name the Padres. The Friars wearing blue. He used to wear brown. It's confusing. You know.
Now, like you said, the identity isn't strong, and I want to mention that I've eaten 3 double doubles.
Three
This is
down.
number 3 for me.
Number
Wow.
3 for you. Okay, so
And I finished my shake, and I
mashed.
counted down surprise.
Smash Linscomb. Have not beat him yet. What was I talking about?
Identity.
Oh, identity, yeah. So, it seems like the Padres are more than likely going to change their uniform scheme at the end of the year. Garfinkel seems like he is pushing in that direction.
Yeah, and more.
And the question is, which color do they go? And if I had to place bets on it, I would say they're going to go towards a red, white, and blue type. I think they're going to make it a military.
Yeah, probably.
Tribute.
That's what
Sort of
everything
yeah.
points to.
Yeah.
So we'll be one of what, another 10 major league teams with the red, white, and blue color scheme.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Although when I think of when I look at the 1936 team, the only thing that's really red, white, and blue are their stirrups, right?
The sock has 2 red lines on it.
Okay. And then outside of that, I look at that uniform and it looks very New York Yankees.
Oh,
To
absolutely.
me.
Right.
Okay.
Which
So-
they were all like that back then. More or
Yeah.
less. Pretty basic, simple,
Pinstripe.
pinstripe, or
Kind of
just
flannel
black and
looking.
white.
High socks.
Yep.
So you made a representation of how they could go with the 36
Right.
uniform, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Why don't you hold that up and
Well, that's not going to see it from here, but we have it online too.
We'll edit it.
Edit graphically.
Yeah.
So this uniform is basically taking the type and the basic design of the 1936 uniform and substituting the navy blue for brown with the gold trim. And we're not saying all the retro uniforms are nice. By all means, they aren't. Even if they're unique, as Nick said, they're uniquely terrible. I think those were the words he used.
yeah, I think that's
Yeah, I think it was uniquely terrible. And we'll have to agree on some of the uniforms, they are uniquely terrible. I think at that time, like the all yellow uniforms came from the fact that colored television was just being introduced. And so they're kind of like bright colors, like they were experimenting with that. But we think there's classy ways to place brown and maybe gold trim or another color and make really nice uniforms. And that's what we did with this mock-up. But this is taking the 36. We think that new uniforms can be designed using brown in distinctive and tasteful ways.
yeah.
We know it. We know for a fact that can be done. It's not a question of if, we know it can. And for people to continuously bring up the bad uniforms that were in brown, we think it's just kind of a cop-out. Anybody, even Nick, has yet to tell us that this is the ugly uniform. He said actually this uniform is better than the current uniforms, but he just doesn't like brown.
Yeah.
Which,
That's one guy.
one guy.
One guy.
There was another guy recently that we talked to last week that said he just doesn't like brown. But sometimes you don't like everything about who you are. Identity isn't about necessarily what you like, it's about who you are. So we didn't really choose brown, brown chose us in a lot of ways.
Ooh, I like that.
I think so.
Brown chose us.
So we go back to the Friar logo too?
Yeah, I mean, you have the friar, he has a red robe, a blue robe, a camo robe, and a brown robe.
Gotta go back to the original Friar though.
Yeah, without a doubt on that one.
Quirky. He has character. I think the new friar's missing a little character. He's friendly looking, but he's not. He doesn't look like a. The old friar could be like a brewing friar.
I like that.
Yeah.
The old Friar looks like he would stab somebody. That's what he looks like. The
You
new
got
one
a
is just like, oh, hey, yeah, go ahead, other baseball team, beat us up,
Yeah.
that's fine.
As much as you're indifferent to what.
By the
color-
way, Bo wanted to know how you got Rizzo in that uniform.
I didn't ask that question.
You
I knew he
basically
photoshopped
asked
it.
that question.
He just said, was that serious Photoshop?
Yeah, that looked like some serious Photoshop work. It did. Look at this. See? Serious Photoshop
I'm
work.
gonna have to edit that again.
Okay. Pulling back to the Giant series real quick. So, just to go back with, I know you're indifferent with the brown and whatever color goes with it. I would have to say that I'm not indifferent. I would really hope that they don't use orange and brown.
I think
Just because we are so close, that is so close to what the Giants would look like, and I want our own identity. I don't want to look like pumpkins, which I think, like,
Right.
which is the Halloween.
Splashing pumpkin.
Yeah, splashing pumpkins, which is what the Giants look like. And I don't want to look like them, just like I don't want to look like the Dodgers like we do right now. We need
Halloween is a pagan holiday.
Yeah.
We're not pagans.
No, we're
We're
not.
Padres.
Yeah, it's San
Yeah.
Francisco for you.
So that's also kind of a weird conflict. You have, the Padres and then a lot of military elements into the Padres. That's kind of also a kind of confusing aspect, but I think there's ways to also to keep that integration because we are a military town.
Well, you can keep the camo. I love what they do now.
Yeah.
Just keep the Sunday day games,
Mhm.
camo
Yeah.
uniforms. And they've improved greatly since they first started doing them.
Yeah.
This year, the uniforms are by far, I think, the best out of what we've
We've got 4 games against the Giants here. We had a nice 3-1 lead in the series, in the season series, and then it all unraveled in
San Francisco.
in San Francisco.
We got one
in
inning.
game
Extra
3 of that
Mike
series.
Adams.
Yeah, Mike Adams coughed it up, which he never does.
Yeah.
Goes in extras, we lose, and then we lose the next day as well. And here we are, tied 3-3, and we got a 4-game set with the Giants. And it gets going tomorrow night with Aaron Harang pitching for us and Madison Bumgarner, who I believe bombed in the series opener at Petco, where the Padres won. 2-game series to start the year.
Oh, was that both those games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One was good, one was bad. But anyway, so we've got that. We got Harang going. This is Harang's second start since coming off the DL. His last one was what happened in that last one that Harang pitched?
Let's not talk
I'm
about
not talking about it. I don't know. It was in Los Angeles or something. All right, so we got a 4-game series. Game Lukey against Zito. I like our chances in that game. That would be game 3. In the
So
series.
you like your chances in 1 out of the 4 games.
Well, we're like going from 1 to 3 to 4 to 2. Let's start at 1. Harang and Bumgarner. Bumgarner's a good pitcher.
Dude,
Harang, all the way.
Like Harang all the way.
Yep. That's my prediction.
well here's the thing. It's like when you take the pitching staffs on both these teams, they're pretty comparable.
Yeah.
So
And when you look at the offenses of each, they're both fairly miserable.
fairly miserable. Yeah.
By
But-
fairly, you mean completely.
Well, the Padres are completely miserable. I think that the Giants are.
So how are they winning games? How are the Giants winning games right
I think they're kind of doing what the Padres did last year. You know, the Padres were getting those timely hits when they needed them.
Mhm.
I mean, let's think about it last year. The Padres' offense was terrible. It wasn't good. But when they needed that hit in the 8th inning or the 9th inning, they were getting them. Giants are doing the same thing. They've taken 10 games. I think that they've won in the 9th this year.
Yeah, I think they lead the
Oh,
league
that's
in
right.
walk-off wins too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, we had a lot of those last year.
Had a lot of those last year. And now here we are not in any of those. 40 and 52?
yeah,
That's a
it's very
40 and
ugly.
52. But I mean, what do we have? We've got a few things to look forward to. And one of them is trying to disrupt the Giants' flow, because every single Giant fan was legitimately excited last night as the All-Star game ended. All they were thinking was, we have home field if we make it to the World Series.
The big
And
word is if they make it.
Yeah.
But they're delusional and they don't think in terms of ifs.
No, and they're not the same
They're
team as
absolutists. Yes.
they're not the same team as they were last year.
No, no.
So
But they have a good pitching staff. They have the type of pitching staff that could get them going. What we have is the hope that we can destroy them in this series.
On the disc.
You guys have the burgers to finish then.
Well, like I said, I had 3, so
all right, so to conclude our talk about the Padres versus the Giants, we had the In-N-Out Challenge.
Which we
Started by
completed.
we
Tim
neutralized.
Lincecum.
We
But we
neutralized.
each did 3, and we still have 2 more burgers to eat, and they're gonna each eat 1 to beat Tim Lincecum.
Is there a possibility of a stalemate in this series?
Oh yeah, what happens if if the record's even, or is it uneven games?
Is it
18
uneven?
it's 18. It's an 18
Uh-huh.
game series, isn't it?
Should
We
be.
got the balls and the bet, which, to be determined. Dick Williams tribute tomorrow night. Great, late Dick Williams. And the series is now tied at 3-3. So go Padres, beat the Giants.
I'm not a pretty